Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton with the Consortium for Public Education. Today, I'm interviewing Nichole Boscia, a senior research associate with the San Jose State University Research Foundation's NASA Ames Research Center in the Human-Computer Interaction Group. Thank you so much for joining us, Nichole.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about where you work and what your role is there. How did you become a senior research associate? What does that mean you do?
So what we do is we write software applications used by the mission directorate at NASA, which basically connects all this engineering data from like Boeing and Lockheed and all the like NASA programs. And that information is used during mission launches. Like, for example, when we had the Artemis launch last November, and you see all those people in the control room doing the like countdown. And so they're using our software during that. And also like during missions, if there's any type of like anomaly or deviation, they use our software to track that and link like components and parts and how do they relate to each other. If something failed here, how does it affect other pieces of the SLS rocket and stuff like that. So we write that software and we support the National Mission Directorate through that.
So tell me a little bit, what does it mean that you're in the Human-Computer Interaction Group? Is that just like how the computers interact with the people, or is there something else with that?
It's basically the psychology division, and they have people that do research with these engineers, the people that are using our software, design it around their specific needs. And we also have another team that writes software called Playbook, which is what they used for like scheduling Mars 2020 mission, and just like you said, it's how do humans interact with computers?
That's really cool. So that sounds also very specialized. Can you tell us about your career path and maybe some of the jobs that you did on the way to being in the role that you have now?
Yeah, so my career path started by going to college in Florida, where I studied space science, astrophysics for about a year and a half. I chose that because I love NASA and I wanted to work for NASA, and that college was along the space coast of Florida near Kennedy, so I figured that would be a good place to go. I kind of had a change of heart afterwards and wanted to go more into computer science, and so I moved out to Silicon Valley, California. Went to community college here for a while, taking computer programming classes, and got an internship at NASA Ames Research Center. From there, I got hired on after about a year full time, and I started doing network engineering for the supercomputing division, which was about, there's some programming with automation in that, but it was like configuring routers and switches, networking equipment so that like the Alaskan satellite facility can get their data into the supercomputer as fast as possible and use it. There was a lot of hands-on work as well. So I wanted to change career paths to more towards the software engineering side. And so I switched to another NASA area, which is where I'm at now, where we're writing the software applications. And so on a daily basis, I'm dealing with like operations. How do we keep our websites up all the time? How do we architect it such that if NASA Ames Research Center has some type of outage, like an earthquake, how do we fail over all of our applications to Florida, Kennedy Space Center, so that missions are not impacted by that? Dealing with things like security is a big thing for NASA. You know, we have sensitive data. We need to make sure our international partners don't access each other's information, people doing attacks and handling that type of stuff on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, that's really cool that you are able to blend all the different things that you've learned and kind of take it to a new place. So what do you enjoy about the programming part of the work or all of the work that you're doing now?
The nice thing about like software programming is you have a very flexible schedule, a flexible life. You get to create things, and it's such a good feeling to go like, program all day and then like go on the web and like look, like I created that, and people use it. And so there's that good like positive feedback there. You're also not like, I'm going to say, for all the introverts out there, this is an excellent career path because you don't really have to talk to customers or deal with external people. So yeah, you can kind of just be in your own world and just focus and do your job.
So what kinds of skills, other than the hard programming skills, are really necessary for being good at this kind of work?
Just critical thinking, I think, is the biggest, like, if you can think through a problem, and everything about programming is a problem. How do you solve this problem? How do you troubleshoot something? And just being able to logically go through all the various options and ruling out things and just being able to see the bigger picture and understanding how everything connects. So yeah, critical thinking, analytics, and analytical thinking, logic, like that type of thing is definitely necessary for this type of career.
What kinds of questions should people ask themselves if they're considering a career like yours?
So I would say, what is it that you enjoy? Are you okay with like just being the creator of something and being, I want to say isolated because you have your team, but it is a more restrictive environment than some other roles. And you can ask yourself, like, where do you want to go in your career? Because programming is a very wide range of jobs. You can do anything from machine learning to AI to like programming robots, just writing websites, and all of the even like astrophysics. I mean, you're still programming. Like, it's such an important part of so many jobs that it opens up so many doors for you. So if you're not like entirely sure of which specific career you want, like software engineering is a good base to open up forward paths.
So for everyone who wants to work at NASA,
I think like scientist and engineer, probably there's some level of programming. You get data from like the stars. It's like huge data sets. You got to do programming to make that data into like visualizations or make something useful, because it's just like ones and zeros or whatever, right? You need to have that knowledge. Yeah.
So what's one piece of advice that you would give to anyone aspiring to work in your field?
I would say the most important piece, and this is probably for most fields, is internships. Like, absolutely, internships nowadays will open the doors. They will give you that experience on your resume, like fresh out of college, or even like the vocational trades. You're competing with other people and it's your first job. Well, if you have an internship, you have that big advantage already above everyone else. And just getting your foot in the door and networking is really huge. 100% internships, even if they're remote or if they're only over the summer for a couple months or whatever, absolutely do it.
Do you have any advice for students who think that, oh, I definitely don't want to stay in Pennsylvania, I want to go somewhere else? Like, what should they think about if they're considering a move like that?
You should move where the jobs are that you want. And that kind of, I mean, there's obviously like remote jobs. Like now I'm like obviously remote, but not a lot of jobs I can do that. It helps tremendously to move to where the jobs are, to give you those opportunities to get hired and advance your career there. Even if it's something that might only be for like a few years, to at least get that experience on your resume. If an opportunity presents itself to you, just take it. If you're scared, that's okay. Just take what's presented to you, because you might not get another opportunity.
Is there anything I should have asked you about your career path, or anything that you would want to share with students that I didn't ask you?
Don't worry so much. Like, my career path was astrophysics. Like, I wanted to be an astrophysicist. And once I got to school and started studying it, it wasn't what I thought it was. So I highly advise people to go out and read the job descriptions of the careers they think they want to do. And that will give you a list of like what it is that they would be doing, but also what the requirements are so that you can work towards those requirements. Like even at NASA, like all the NASA jobs have that listed there. So you know exactly what you're going to do and where you know what degrees that are required for that. So that is definitely something that people should be doing.
That's really great advice. Nichole, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experiences with us today.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!